It's time for Veggie Tales! Boom.
Hello. Welcome to day 11.
Whenever clouds start gathering to cover up the sun, it really doesn't mean a thing to me.
So,
Is it day 11?
my secret was that this person is here for the week. To start out today, I would like to say, first of all, in case you don't know who this is my sister Natalie. She is 3.5 years younger than me.
Told you!
I wanted to talk to my dearest sister about food allergies and just find out a little bit about...
Of which I am an expert.
Yeah, she's got a lot of allergies. So let's start out. What allergies do you currently have?
Currently.
Yeah, currently.
Technically I am allergic to dairy, though I eat it anyway, I just don't drink milk. I am allergic to tomatoes. I am allergic to corn. I am allergic to eggs, although I eat them anyway. And I'm allergic to cantaloupe and green grapes.
Specifically, I want to ask Natalie questions that I know she gets asked by people who haven't heard much about her experience with allergies, / comments that people make.
Oh.
Why they make the comments, I don't know, but comments that seem uninformed. They come from a good heart, but a lot of times...
You mean well, but you come across as really dumb and unoriginal.
Or just not very understanding of your experience being different. And that's what this whole channel is about, is understanding people's experiences that are not the same. So I figured that was a good way to start off our sister week.
I'm an expert at being different.
And misunderstood.
And
You are a
tragically
child
misunderstood.
Natalie, what is the most common thing that someone says to you when they find out you have a corn allergy?
What? You're allergic to corn? But you live in Iowa and your dad's a farmer. Oh yeah, because I totally chose to be allergic to corn. I was like, what's the most ironic allergy I can possibly come up with? Corn. I'm gonna contract an allergy to corn now. Didn't happen that way. Somebody told me one time, was like, actually asked me, was like, is it hard for you being allergic to corn and like not being able to eat what your dad grows? And I was like,
here's a lesson on farming, in case you hadn't heard a lesson from a farmer recently about how corn is grown. The majority of people do not eat field corn because field corn is
grown for seed.
It's what we make things out of, yes, but we don't cook it.
We make gasoline.
So does that mean like you're also like gluten-free or like can you eat anything?
No, I can't eat anything. Corn and gluten are not connected at all. So, though, gluten and corn, if you're allergic to gluten and you're allergic to corn, like they pretty much span about the same amount of food. Like, our mom is allergic to gluten and she can't really eat any, well, she's allergic to everything else too, but she can't eat much. But corn is a problem because corn syrup and cornstarch alone are in almost everything, especially in the great America where we process all our foods and put corn syrup in everything.
What is a common comment that you get from somebody when you ask them if there's corn in food when you are visiting their house and they have made food for you?
They usually are like, well, I don't know. You don't know what you put in it? Okay, like, did you put cornstarch in the food? Or corn syrup? Honestly, the most common thing that happens is they make a meal and then they're like, oh, right, you can't eat this. I'll just, like, whip up a salad for you or something. And I'm just like, this sounds really, like, victim and horrible, but,
No,
like,
this is honesty time, man.
honestly, people don't accommodate for food allergies, really, ever. Like, they're just like, oh, you can't have that. I set aside a little bit of this. Even though it's, like, you know, because corn is, like, super easy to take out of things, because there are substitutes for everything. Like, cornstarch, tapioca starch, man. It's the exact same thing. You don't even have to, like, have some sort of conversion. No, it's, like, literally the exact same thing. But people are just like, oh, you can't have that, so I'm just going to set aside a little bit that's, like, less flavorful and less good, and then you can eat that.
And no protein.
And no protein. Corn is not a recognized food allergen, which means I have gotten really good at speed reading labels.
And honestly, I think one thing that I've learned growing up with you and Mom and Michael, our brother he went through a stint of his life where he didn't eat any yeast. He eats it all the time now. I think he partially grew out of it and partially just didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
But because we have more than 20 allergies in our family and also some intolerances like gluten with our mom, I, as one of the two people in our household, like my dad and me, one of the two people in our household who doesn't have any allergies that are identifiable, I've become accustomed to thinking about that when I'm not with them. So like when I pick up an item in the grocery store, I look at it to be like, oh, does this have any corn syrup in it? Does this have cornstarch in it? Because I'm curious, like if I were with my sister, could she eat it? Or if I see a gluten-free section in a store, I might pop over and look at it because I wonder if my mom would actually like anything that's there, or whether she would be like, I've tried this, I don't think it's very high quality. And I think it's just really interesting to be someone who doesn't have to go gluten-free or doesn't have to cut out certain foods from my diet, and being aware of what is in our food anyway. Without going vegetarian or vegan. Because I think if you're not gluten-free, vegetarian and vegan are the next two popular
Those are
trends.
just, like, to be cool, honestly.
Which, like, some people feel a lot healthier when they eat vegetarian and vegan, and some people, they never bother, so they don't know whether they feel better or not.
I won't bother.
I grew up on a farm, and we raised our own food, like a lot of our own food. So I grew up eating meat as a regular part of our meal, but we also grew up eating a lot of starch, so I didn't eat as much meat. When you eat a lot of starch, you don't eat as much meat.
I have found the longer I've had a food allergy, I feel like the worse it gets. Is like I'm hesitant to ask people to accommodate for it. They don't ever say that's inconvenient, but you can tell, like, by the way they act about it or the way they kind of talk around it, is like it's really an inconvenience to them. And so I kind of am like, I don't want to inconvenience you. So I have learned generally when I go out to eat with people or I go eat at someone's house, I'm like, oh, I'll just adapt. Like, I'll make it work. Because I don't really want to be like, I'm sorry, I can't eat this. I can't eat where we're going. Can we change it? Because I'm afraid that people are going to be like, ugh, that's so inconvenient. Can you maybe make your body stop reacting to this food? No, I can't. If I could, I would. But yeah, it's just kind of like, I remember, like, the first time I actually, like, did that and, like, actually thought ahead and was like, hey, I can't eat a lot of food. How can you accommodate for me? And of course they were like, oh yeah, of course. And I was just like, felt so insecure about it because I'm like, they're gonna be like, oh great, we've got a needy one coming or something like that. I mean, I am needy, but what are you gonna do about it? Probably never again going to reference the fact that youngest children have a tendency to be needy, because that is bad, and I'm never gonna do that again.
And this is going on the internet, so everyone will have proof that she said it.
We'll fix it in post.
Thanks a bunch, Natalie, for the insight.
You're welcome.
I know we have this conversation on a regular basis, like her
She gets my
venting about
venting,
it,
yeah.
and then me understanding the venting because I watch it happen and get frustrated.
Honestly, this is kind of like, I don't know how much you really can help about it, but if you have the chance, spend time with people who have food allergies, because the way she talks about it, like, she gets it, she understands it, because she's been around it, she's grown, like, I guess they weren't really, and food allergies weren't introduced, like, when we were little, but, we've lived with it, even before I really had any, like, I lived with it, and it just makes you understand it, because, like, yeah, it's kind of an inconvenience to you to have to accommodate for it, but, like, the person with it has to live with it, and it really helps people understand it if you just spend time with someone who has that, because then you kind of just, like, you start reading labels for people. Just to see what's in it. So, yeah, just, I mean, I think that's a good general rule for pretty much anything. It's like, spend time around people who have this, and you'll understand it better, and you won't be like, ugh, that's so annoying. Because you'll be like, oh my goodness, this person can't eat all of this food. So sad.
It's
Be
kind of the
sensitive.
same- yeah, be sensitive. Like, the same things happen with food allergies, except people are like, oh, well, it's just a food allergy. It's not like something that literally is crippling them or keeping them from functioning the same way that other people do. Like, but it does.
I have cried over pizza before. Tears have come out of my eyes because I miss pizza. I eat now because I just do. If I ever get a life-threatening allergy, that will be how I die.
Same.
For real. If I ever get a life-threatening allergy, I will die of it within a month. Because I cannot avoid food to save my life.
Yep. Well, this video has been entirely too long already. Very nice, but too long because now I have to edit it. So, stay tuned tomorrow for more adventures with the sisters. I'm so excited. Also, at some point this week, there will be maybe some fun...
More surprises.
Fun surprises.
Don't commit to anything.
No, I'm not committing to anything. There's a reason I did not actually name it. Don't assume. That's a good theme for this video. Don't assume.
That's a good theme for basically life.
Yes.
Don't assume.
The rest of that phrase is something that my formerly homeschooled mind was not allowed to say. But I'm not homeschooled anymore, so assumptions make an ass out of you and me. See you tomorrow.